Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. There is a 12-year expiration date for many veterans for this important benefit. I wanted to share it with you because, well, like most things, nothing is ever told to us and we have to figure it out the hard way. And oftentimes, we're a day late and a dollar short, or millions of dollars if you've held off on your VA benefits for a long time as far as the disability compensation is concerned. Let's jump into it. Before I do, though, I want to throw on a special thank you to Kevin Lindsay 7781. Kevin Lindsay, thank you so much for the super comment, super chat. I really do appreciate your support very much. Thank you. All right, so jumping into this, and look, at the end of the day, we'll call it the suite, right? The suite of veterans benefits, they're vast. There's a lot of different benefits out there, not just for you as the veteran, but for your spouse, for dependents. If you have any problems gathering up all of your evidence and getting the things that you need for a successful claim from your doctor, your provider, i.e., nexus letter, DBQ, diagnosis, anything that you're having, well, I probably won't have a problem with the diagnosis, but if you're having any issues getting that evidence, you can't. That's your first choice. I'm just saying, like, try to get it from your provider. It'll be cheaper that way. But if you're trying to put together your claim and you can't get that information, utilize AME. They got a free consultation. Their information's in the description and in the comments. They're board certified doctors. All right. They're just doing it telehealth, and they understand the VA and the VA legalese that's needed to support your claim. Let's jump into this. All right. So the 12-year date is a real thing, and it is something that could catch people off guard if you're not ready. Now, jumping into it here, I'm just going to go straight to the 12-year portion, then we'll jump into the benefit and all that stuff. So if you were discharged from active duty before January 1st, 2013, if you discharged from active duty before January 1st, 2013, your basic period of eligibility ends 12 years from one of these dates, whichever comes later. So they're giving you the benefit there on whichever one of these come later in your life. The first one is the date you received notice of your date of separation from active duty. Okay. Most people aren't going to fall under this one that are looking for this benefit, but it's important to know. The next one is, and this is where most people will fall, the date you received your first VA service-connected disability rating. So if you got out of the military and you waited 10 years before you filed a claim, and then you got your award, well, that's going to be your first, whatever the effective date is, your first VA service-connected disability rating. 12 years from that period. Now, there's a caveat here, and it says the basic period of eligibility may be extended if a VRC finds that you have a serious employment handicap. Having a serious employment handicap means your service-connected disability significantly limits your ability to prepare for, obtain, and maintain suitable employment. A job that doesn't make your disability worse, is stable, and matches your abilities, aptitudes, and interests. All right. That's the 12-year period. This is, if you've guessed it, I love that you guessed it. If you didn't guess, this is for VR&E. Now, VR&E, which is Veterans Readiness and Employment, covers actually 5 different specific tracks of benefits, different things for different people. The example that I always give is the Automotive Dealership Institute, because it's something that people don't think about. Just trying to open up the mindset. Obviously, if you don't want to be a finance manager and you don't want to work at a dealership, then obviously that doesn't work for you. But if you do, then that's an option. They're the only finance and insurance management school that's government approved in the US. The average income, well over $100,000, and they train you in a 4-week period. They accept VR&E, they accept post 9/11. So they have a VA liaison there that helps you put all that stuff together. They have a great reputation, and probably one of the most beneficial aspects of this, in my opinion, is the job placement within 90 days. They have a high success rate of getting you placed anywhere in the US. So in my mind, I always look at kind of the extra things you can add on. Look, if I want to move to a different city, a different county, a different state, this might be a way for me to leverage that. Again, I'm trying to open up the mind a little bit and show that it's not just go get a 4-year degree in underwater basket weaving and now there you are, and nobody cares that you have that degree, and it doesn't really do you any good. Now, granted, on the other hand, degrees are good if that's really what you need for your specific employment journey, right? If you want to be a teacher or a doctor or a counselor, something like that, obviously you need to build up your degrees, right? Get your bachelor's, get your master's, and move on. So that would be needed. But if you don't care about that and you're just going to school to get, the housing allowance, well, that's great too. But you should also probably think about what can leapfrog you ahead financially. Veterans Readiness and Employment is great. I think ADI is a great option for many people. The Automotive Dealership Institute. Their information will be in the description and in the comments. Now, I'm going to talk about the 5 tracks here. So the 5, I'm typing it in as we speak, 5 tracks, V, R, and E, so I could pull it up for you. So the 5 service support and service tracks, I'm just going to give you kind of the overview here. They have the rapid access to employment track. That would be, there's no specific order here. If you're a veteran with a service-connected disability, the reemployment track can help you return to your former job and support your employer in meeting your needs. The next one would be rapid access to employment track. If you want to find a job or career that uses your existing skill set, the rapid access to employment track can help you with your job search. So you're already ready to go, you just can't find a job, right? You're having issues with that. Next one is the self-employment track. Many people aren't even aware that the VA offers support in self-employment. If you're a service member or a veteran with service-connected disability and employment barrier, the self-employment track can help you start your own business. The next one here is employment through long-term services track. This is the one that most people think about when they think about VRE, Veterans Readiness and Employment. They think about, okay, they're going to send me to school or training, and I'm going to go through that program, and then I'm going to graduate from whatever that is, and then they're going to help me. That's Stan. He's the rooster. So they're going to help you find a job after. Now, the employment through long-term services track, again, it's not just your community college or your university going for a 2-year, 4-year degree. It's also things like ADI, the Automotive Dealership Institute, a 4-week program, gets you trained up for the job of a finance manager, and then they help you get placed within the U.S. So depending on your flavor of what you're looking for and the speed in which you want to accomplish things, one of the great things I think here is, just kind of thinking outside the box a little bit. Utilize VRE, jump in, get your 4 weeks covered for the Automotive Dealership Institute or really anything like that. Go through that, then get to wherever you're working, start your job, then start going to your college or university or whatever there, night classes, whatever it is, and then you could bring in that BAH on that side. All right, so moving on, the last one here, last track is independent living. Independent living. If you can't return to work right away, you may qualify for services that can help you live as independently as possible. Now, I'm just going to go over the basics on the qualification for VRE, other than that 12-year thing that we talked about. So there's the 12-year expiration for folks that discharged before January 1st, 2013. Well, what if you discharged after that? Well, if you discharged on or after January 1st, 2013, the 12-year basic period of eligibility does not apply to you. There's no time limit on your eligibility, which is fantastic. Now, in order to qualify and be entitled to VRE, you need a few things. It's kind of a 2-step process. Number one, you have to be able to apply for it. And wow, Stan's like, feels like he's in here. All right. So you must not have received a dishonorable discharge, and you must have a service-connected disability rating of 10% from the VA. Now, this rating that you have of at least 10%, I'll put it in my words here, is your ability to hold and maintain employment has to kind of be hinged on that specific condition that's service connected. Either that condition or any other conditions that you have are actually service connected conditions, or multiple conditions, right, that are service connected. You basically want to be able to express that because of my service connected condition or conditions, I have a hard time holding a job, maintaining a job, whatever it is. I can't keep doing exactly what I'm doing. Now, an easy example would be, let's say that you're a mechanic, or you're doing something labor intensive, and you have some muscular skeletal things and some arthritis or whatever going on, and maybe you can't continue that work. It's just too daunting, right? That's going to make sense. And they will go ahead and look at that as, okay, look, we got to get you into a different type of job. In this example, maybe ADI makes sense, right? You're not wrenching on things, and you're not as labor intensive. So now you got a cushy desk job, right? So now you go do that, and they go ahead and admit you into the program. All right, so it says here, when we, the VA, receive your VRNE application, we'll schedule your initial evaluation with a vocational rehabilitation counselor. Whatever. The VRC will determine if you're entitled to receive VRNE benefits and services. That's an important line. They, the Veterans Readiness Counselor, is the one who gets to make the final call. They make the decision. Personally, I applied 3 times. First time denied, second time denied, third time was finally approved because whatever, my story resonated with the counselor. All right. Now, that's kind of the very high level overview of it. Be prepared, talk about your injury, how it affects your ability to work, and then you can get put into one of these tracks. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you very much. Have a great one, and remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.